Hey guys, welcome back to fm8tutorials.com. This is the final part of the drum and bass feature we've been doing this month on FM8, and in this tutorial I'm going to show you how to make this kind of modulated synth hook that we had playing there. Okay, so we start off by creating a new sound and set up the operators. So for operator F, go 0.25 on the ratio and make it a third 4-man waveform, and route this through the filter. So we're activating the filter for this sound. Turn on operator Z, take that routing straight to the output off, and just feed the operator F back into itself a little bit, about 10. So push that cutoff up and pull the resonance of these two filters down. So operator E, go 0.125 and have it as a sine wave, and then just route this into operator F at about 31. It's just bringing the kind of tone down a little bit, and just feed it back into itself, operator E at about 40. So getting a bit of that rasp in there. And then also what we can do here is feed operator F back into E. Which is just helping to kind of shape the sound even more. And yeah, turn on operator D next. And 0.125 on the ratio. And the waveform can be a 1+4. And feed operator D into E about 32. Or 34. And then operator C next. This can be 0.125 again. And a sawtooth waveform. Turn it on and route this straight to the filter, about 86. And just to grit that operator up a little bit more, let's route E into it at about 60. Or a little bit less, maybe 53, because it distorts a bit when you go up to 60. So operator B now, 0.5 on the ratio, keep it as a sine wave, and let's turn it on. This can just route straight into Z at 100, full volume. And also feed it into operator F about 48. And back into itself at 24. And finally operator A, 0.125 on the ratio, and we're just going to feed this, turn it on and feed it into operator B at about 71. Maybe it just distorts a little bit too much up there, so maybe about 62. Okay, so let's move over to the master section next, and probably just going to keep the synth in monophonic and increase the voices to 4. Keep the detune at about 20, and then just push this pan to pan those voices out up to 73. And then in the quality section, keep the analog at 0, but just push the digital up to 68. And take the transpose up to +12, so up an octave. So let's move over to the envelope section next, and operators F through to C can link, and just pull this release out a bit. And for operators A and B, if I turn off B, these two operators here have quite a big effect on the sound, so we can use that to create quite an interesting tone on the sound by adding some customized envelopes on these two operators. So tempo sync them both and then link them, and then drag this sustain loop endpoint over to the 4/2. Check the fix box. Let's maybe put a bit of release on there, and control click in there, we get that dotted line. It means we're creating a loop now. So pull that down there and create another point in, and just put it here, and then just pull this slope down. So we're going to get, that's without these two operators in effect. The volume of these two operators rises according to this envelope, so a bit later on we'll get which is a pretty cool effect on the sound. You can actually take that one step further by applying a similar kind of envelope to the pitch here. So if we change the envelope amount to 56 and go back to this envelope section and just save one of these envelopes in this empty slot here we've got here, go to the pitch and apply that, apply that envelope in there, tempo sync this envelope too, and now we're going to get in sync with the rise of these envelopes here. We're going to get this pitch rise. Okay, so next we can move over to the modulation section and apply some modulation here. Again, looking at operators A and B, actually send the LFO to, apply an LFO just to these operators, because A is routing through B. Effectively, just by routing it to B here, we're applying it to both of these operators, because the sound, the output of the sound of these two operators is come through B. So sync this LFO. You can hear it in effect there. Take the key scaling, velocity scaling off, key sync it, and activate a sawtooth waveform for this LFO. So, and take the rate up to 59. So as the pitch is rising and these two envelopes, or these two operators, sorry, are kind of the volume of these is coming in, also getting that LFO effect to kind of creep in as well. You can actually apply some extreme pitch modulation here as well using an LFO to the kind of output of the whole sound. So go plus 100 on this first LFO. Sync this again. Use a sawtooth waveform, key sync it, take the key scaling, velocity scaling off, but just take the rate of this down to 31. So it's quite a cool effect on the sound. And so I think the final thing to do really is just put some effects on. So use a peak EQ, just bring out some of the higher frequencies, and a touch of reverb as well, and take the dry wet down to around 20, push the bright and treble up a bit, pull the time down a bit, and that's our sound. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed that tutorial. Any questions, please get in touch, and thanks for watching. Hope to see you again soon. Cheers, bye.